My dear brothers and sisters, it's another wonderful day, and today being a Sabbath day, it has been very, very wonderful, and especially in my ward, we are so much joyful because we had an opportunity to be visited today by the area president. You know, having a member of the area president and the general Sunday school president also visited us today in our ward. And one thing is that they wanted to look at the progress that how we are actually faring on as a ward, and then at the same time also look at the site, how the temple is actually progressing. And it so happened that these general authorities, they so happened that they attended our sacrament meeting today. And quite fortunately, or you may say fortunately, as a member of the bishopric, I was the one conducting the meeting today. And I'm so glad that I had that privilege of conducting the meeting when the general authorities were there also presiding, Elder Piper and his wife, and Elder Newman and his daughter, who is Kemi. They visited, and they brought very powerful testimonies, and we were all edified during that sacrament meeting. We were very, very much edified, and the chapel was very lively. You know, you could feel the spirit of the saints and the unity that people have, and you could see the love of Christ in people. So today was a very wonderful Sunday. Very, very wonderful. And as you can also hear from my background, there is that thunderstorm, which tells you in Nairobi, the rains are still on. But I hope we are not actually going to experience the days of Noah. The rains are still on. The Lord is blessing us with the rains, which is very beautiful and very, very wonderful. Now, today, I'm actually reminded to revisit the follow-ups and follow the prophet in his journey. And especially, I want to be very particular when the prophet actually visited Kenya at one time. And I remember I was in that meeting. Even though we were just in the congregation. I don't know if the camera really got hold of me, but I hope maybe it actually got hold of me. It was very wonderful when President Nelson visited Kenya, and he was accompanied by Elder Jeffrey R. Holland then, as they visited Kenya, and as they actually, ministered to with the saints, and they gave us a message of hope. And without further ado, let me just invite you so that we can actually have a look at what President Nelson gave, the message that he delivered to the saints in Kenya. Please welcome.
The unique backdrop of Nairobi, Kenya's contrasting wilderness and modern skyline, was the setting of a historic meeting April 16th and a special visit.
Mercy.
Hello, Mercy.
On their way to speak to several thousand Latter-day Saints at a special devotional, President Russell M. Nelson, accompanied by his wife Wendy, Elder Jeffrey R. Holland of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, and his wife Patricia, stopped to minister to the one, Mercy Mokau, a single mom.
You're so kind to invite us into your home. We brought a photograph of the new First Presidency for your home.
Thank you.
It's never occurred to me, even in my wildest dream, that I would be able to be even near the prophet. I'm thrilled, I'm happy.
And what do you ask a prophet of God?
Ask him just to bless our country.
President Nelson has ministered to the people of Kenya and to other African countries for more than 3 decades as an apostle of Jesus Christ. But on this, the third leg of the global ministry tour, it's the first time he's visited an African nation as the president and prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and to all the world.
No, today is a great day to have the prophet be with us. You know, most of the time we just see him in pictures, but this time is to see him face to face.
Hundreds of Latter-day Saints made the journey to the Bomas of Kenya Cultural Center to hear the voice of the new prophet.
Our message to the world is that Jesus is the Christ, and that his way of life is the way of joy, happiness, not only in this life, but in the life ahead.
Some travel 16 hours from as far away as Uganda.
It feels like a very big blessing to Africa, and that's what made us came straight away from Uganda to Kenya. We made this sacrifice just to come and see the servant of the Lord.
Elder Holland admonished faithful members to get temple recommends, even as they anticipate the building of a temple in Nairobi that was announced a year ago.
It says something to heaven and it says something on earth about who you are as a Latter-day Saint if you have that certification.
President Nelson concluded by offering an apostolic blessing to the people of Kenya with Elder Holland by his side.
We invoke a blessing upon you, our beloved brothers and sisters in this congregation and your loved ones, that you'll feast upon the words of Jesus Christ and apply his teachings into your own lives, that you'll be good examples to your friends and relatives, your neighbors. We bless you with health and strength. And should there be illness among you, we invoke a blessing of healing and health, consistent with the will of the Lord and the faith of the people.
So that is when President Nelson actually visited Kenya. And I remember I was also in that congregation among the people who actually lined up to see the prophet and to have to hear what he had to say. And as you can hear what that sister, the sister that he visited from her home, that sister requested something that the prophet should actually bless the country, Kenya, just to bless our country. And I remember during that time, the country was actually going through a lot. And as you can see towards the end of the meeting, actually President Nelson actually offered a blessing. And he offered a blessing not only to the saints, but to the country as well. And when you listen to those words carefully, the words that he spoke, and I will just challenge you, if you can rewind the video and listen to those words that he spoke carefully, you will end up realizing that it is actually the vivid fulfillment of what exactly happened in the country. That he actually invoked a blessing of illness, a blessing of illness and a blessing of, he gave so many wonderful things. And when he spoke of these blessings, even a blessing of healing, and I remember when the pandemic actually hit, and this was before the pandemic, as you can see, this was before the pandemic. But when the pandemic hit, for those who remember, that there were a lot of our members who were affected, a lot of them, and they were in serious condition. Serious condition. Like I personally, I was actually in ICU. I was hit by COVID-19, taken to the ICU, and I was in the hospital for about 3 months. I didn't know myself. I didn't know myself. My fate was actually sealed. The doctors didn't know that actually I would make it. But I thank God because of the prayers of the saints, the prayers of my own mother, God bless her, the prayers of all my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, the prayers of my, wife's uncles and all that. These are people who people fasted. And when I was going through this video, I ended up remembering what the Lord actually promised us through the prophet, that he promised a healing. And this is one of the greatest things that we can ever have. And I know this is actually true. When the prophet visits a country, he comes with the blessings of the Lord too. Otherwise, thank you very much. God bless you. And I'm looking forward also to see you again next time. Thank you.